Was his bathrobe on yet?
What did he say? Dressing gown?
I don't know. I don't even have a bathrobe. I wear like like PJs and like a shirt or whatever. No bathrobe. I'm disappointed.
Hi, Paul. Do you
He's
want to give us, just for people watching us, in the channel, Paul talked a little bit about a dressing gown.
Look, this is a common English word. As you pointed out, it's been around since the 1800s. I
Listen,
just don't understand why you US folks can't keep up.
listen, bro. There's only one good language out there, and that's Americanish.
They call it American English, and it's the American ridiculous version of a really good language, English. It's a dialect of, see?
Let me play something funny for you guys. Actually, I will play it later, but there was this kind of a trolling video where this girl went out and said, "Did you guys know there is more than 5 languages in the world? We don't need all these languages, people. We don't need sans serif."
Comic Sans.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Oh my Lord. So back to this. So this guy that I was talking to yesterday, Yasser, he really he truly said to me, I really appreciate Nick's perspective into building just bringing the perspective and making sure we stay consistent, mainly on that root level, you know, function. And I thought a lot about that root node, and I thought to myself, what should we put there as a value, right? And then something hit me. I said, well, we need to be able to identify, something unique to this particular tokenization process that makes the value worth its while, right? And then I thought a little bit more about it, and I said, wow, this could support multiple versions of OData. Like you could have that value, say we're targeting this particular protocol or that particular protocol, or you could do a lot of things in that value. I am not settled yet on where that's going to be or how that's going to be, but I think there is potentially an option there. Potentially. We
Yeah.
don't know what it's going to
Oh,
be, but we'll
you're
see.
thinking put the OData version in the root value, then, are you? To say, hey, this is a version 4 query as opposed to a version 3 query.
That's just one option. I'd rather have something called metadata in the node itself that says here's some additional details that you might need to know about. Like normally I would add metadata and tags and say, that's like a poor man's kind of approach of going and saying, this is how I'm going to identify a particular approach or a particular way this data needs to be processed. But I'm not settled yet. Nick, I'm gonna defer to you to think about stuff. We'll think
I
about
mean,
stuff.
so
You
I'm
know,
generally in favor of that kind of metadata approach. Like, I don't know if you need, like, if you put it on the node, and there's a bunch of different ways we can skin this, but what is an ASP.NET, like the feature set, like when you can
uh
take it out of the context, right? And like you can say, oh, if this thing exists, and you give it like and it's defined by type, right? Now, I'm not saying that
hmm
that's the distraction we necessarily have to use here, but I generally agree. Let's not shoehorn the actual representation of a value, the value itself,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
something else.
yeah. Let it be
Shoehorning
actually a
bad.
value. Okay.
Model it. Let's model
It,
that,
it could
right?
be it could be the whole query, like it could be the entire expression as a value. I'm okay with that too, but we gotta need to think about it a little bit.
And
Also,
just to set Paul off, right? The way we're going to model it is basically like it's a map. It's a map in JavaScript, totally dynamic.
he's
So
already
you
got
bring an
excluded by
object.
he's already got excluded by us
Look at his
calling it
face. Look
tokenization
at
with
his
the
face.
Z.
Look at his face. He said, sorry. Go on, Hassan. I apologize.
We said tokenization with the Z, and I'm just making it worse for him because he's like, "What's a Z? It's Z, Paul," just so you understand. Anyway, I sent Sam the message. I know, I really need to do better on scheduling these sessions because we want to stay at an hour this time. Last time we got a little bit, I had a little bit of fun, which is okay. That's the whole point of this. But since you guys are here, let's just continue. Let's just write some code, and hopefully Sam will pop in at any point in time.
So whilst we're on that point of the additional metadata, do bear in mind that the model is meant to be, if you like, the tokenization of the actual string query itself. But the query that contains that model can contain additional information, such as the OData version as metadata. So we don't necessarily have to pack everything into the ONode object, because you're not necessarily going to specify things like your OData version at every level of a query, are you? You're going to say, hey, the query which contains this model has this metadata associated with it. So
That's
to
right.
my mind, it would make sense to make it a property of the query rather than the node, if that makes sense.
I'm okay with that. I think that's actually a great idea. So you still maintain the original structure of the data and let how that data is going to be processed something on the outskirts of the, just and on the query level or the convention level. I'm still really sold on that idea of conventions. We're going to have to come back to that one. But anyways,
that concept came out of, I don't know how much has been said on our live streams, but the idea of conventions came from frameworks like Entity Framework that we're all familiar with, and particularly people who have done OData programming in the past will probably be comfortable with using Entity Framework behind that. And they have simple concepts where they say, hey, these are the, if you like, database supported conventions that can be used within this context, and you can sort of add or remove them. So a common one that might get removed, for example, is cascading deletes, because you don't want to accidentally delete more of the database rows than you potentially might delete. In OData terms, we could refer to a convention as being a particular parameter type that we may or may not handle, or a particular structure of nodes, essentially, that have given types. So we could use this conventional mechanism, essentially, to basically say, hey, these are the things that this particular service can handle. And so this allows us in the future, then, when we get past the tokenization point, to match up portions of the query with service handlers, essentially.
Okay.
I realize I was getting 20 steps ahead of where we are now, but I'm sure we'll dig deep.
Yeah, I love it. Eventually, I think the convention is whatever underneath this tokenization process is going to need to use to verify that this data is valid in some way. So we are right now just at the structural validation level. We're saying, okay, this is not supposed to be null. This is not supposed to be this. This is not supposed to be that. There's some garbage data in there that is not tokenizable. We'll see from there. But anyway, let me just go back to the test here. I think there's something up with this test.
Hassan,
Go ahead.
Before we move on, so no, go back to the code. I wanted to point something out. I was thinking about this a lot. I mentioned this in the Discord.
Go ahead.
For ONode, I have a very strong preference to have, value is an object. It's not a string.
Nope, it's not a string.
I was under the impression, is there going to be anything on the value that has like the raw part of the query that was taken from?
That's when we talked about the raw expression. Do you remember when we said raw expression like this, right? And we thought about that a little bit. And I said, okay, hold on to this until we figure out the tokenization, and then we can move on from there.
I apologize if we're rehashing old things, but does it make sense for value to be an object? Like if we're tokenizing, right? There's a difference between tokenizing and actually extracting typed values, right? Tokenizing is the process of splitting apart some larger corpus into smaller corpuses. Those corpuses are still of the same type of the larger corpus, which in this case is text, right? Or some sort of well, at least what we're using as text. Does it make sense for that conversion to take place at this layer, right? Think of how Muslim does it, right? You have it, when it builds its tree, Like you are dealing fundamentally with a string, right? Because that string is part of the compilation unit that you're trying to process in Roslyn. Is this not similar to that?
So, if I may,
Go ahead, Paul.
my thoughts on this is, sorry, at this point in time, we
Someone
are taking.
really doesn't like what you're about to say.
Yep.
Yeah. At this point in time, we're just taking, say, the bit after the question mark in a URL, and we're taking that portion and we're saying, okay, this is a representation of something far more complex, a query. Yeah. So what we do know we have at this point in time is a string, and all we're effectively doing is a, shall we say, intelligent string.split type operation.
Agreed.
So I would argue that at this point, all O nodes only really contain pieces of a string. So these should be strings. Any parsing should be a conventional thing or a service layer thing.
Yeah. So let's take that one step further. So I'm in agreement. So it sounds like Paul and I are in agreement.
Yep.
Value should be string. Let's make value a read-only span. Make it a read-only span of character, not string.
Like a span?
I know that this is read-only span.
Read-only span.
Yes. Because if you think about it, we're looking at windows on the original query that it's coming in. We have no need to mutate that. And on top of that, read-only span of character, right? So we have no need to modify that. This might not be valid because this might have to be a ref struct in order to do it, or a struct to do it.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work this way.
What's the compiler issue?
Yeah, it's basically saying field or auto-implemented property cannot be of type read-only span.
Yeah.
So you can't actually make a property.
You could do it if this was a struct, right? So if this is a read-only struct, which I do agree with as well. I mean, I'm big on immutability, but I understand, if that's not the direction that we want, like the fundamental direction we want to take here.
You want to make this guy struct like this?
A read-only struct. So that means you'd have to have a constructor that takes the parameters. You can't do, or maybe a init. I'm not sure if a init would work, but it would be public read-only struct.
Okay.
And then you have to put a constructor in that assigns it. So this is my thought. And again, I maybe this is nitpicking along implementation lines, but along putting performance way too far ahead in the process. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I find that if later you find performance to be an issue in the .NET implementation, is going to be much more difficult to go and unwind all of these strings into spans when you're just looking at a window on the query.
Or even better, like
from the beginning.
So just remember this, in the article that I posted, I said, if any team wants to basically re-implement a particular component for performance, they'll be able to go do that, right? And you will be surprised how simple this tokenization is. It's just we're just writing really just a parser, of a particular query, and it doesn't even care about the rules of the protocol. Okay, I'm okay with making this a string, by the way, you guys. It's not a big deal for me, but eventually this value needs to be mapped, and I'm totally okay if we're gonna stay to this one particular responsibility of tokenization. I am totally okay with that. I'm fine with this. The one thing that I'm concerned about, though, I think this test is wrong. Can you guys tell why this test is wrong?
Query type root, input value, children, new list, node, new node, operator, parameter, children, new list.
What's the problem here?
You've gone too deep, haven't you? Your operator is in the middle of two other nodes, or it should be. So you should have an array with 3 nodes there. But instead, you've got an array with the operator in it, and then that's got a child of a property.
Exactly. So this guy here, that we have, this guy needs to be these children. We need to have 2 of these in here, and I will fix that also in a little bit because that's also not really strong enough. But you basically want something in here that basically looks like this, assuming that I'm gonna keep the properties the same, which I'm not. So check this out. And here, now this is much more conclusive test. Why? Much more, but not enough. You know, this is going and saying, okay, if you're gonna have two properties, you need to have two nodes against this operator, right?
Right, but they can be at the same level, can't they? So you've got your root node, and under your root node, you've got your parameter, your operand, and your two properties. They are all part of a single expression. But that's how I'm kind of looking at this, is that an expression is your flat list of nodes.
Right. So you want, you know that this parameter is like the equivalent of $select, right? That's what this is.
Yeah, so, oh, are you thinking that select has children?
Yes.
Oh, so I was thinking that select would have children in the event that one of the items in that same level array.
I'm okay with that too, Paul. Like if you want to go and say, no, I want to actually do it like this. I want to take this out like this, and I'm going to go here and present it like this. That's okay too. Is that what you mean? To make it flat, like flatten the expression so it looks exactly something like this. I'm okay with that. I think that was our original approach. I think that's what we talked about originally, right?
Yeah, so my thinking was so like if you had, I'm trying to think of the best way of structuring this in such a way that it's still a valid OData statement, if that makes sense. So you can have, for example, you can have a filter and a select, and you can have a select and a filter, and they can be nested within each other, can't they?
Question.
Or probably a better example would be an expand, actually.
So here's the thing: if we
I'm okay with this level. Go ahead, Nick.
If the model allows for the nesting of children, and I'm not saying that doesn't have to happen at some point. At some point, it absolutely does have to happen. However,
at this level, it doesn't have to.
I'm sorry?
At this level, it doesn't have to.
That's where I'm going with this, right?
I'm
because
okay with
if
that.
you have an error statement, then the nesting becomes impossible.
I am 100% okay with that.
Work.
This is truly single responsibility.
I think that the way, at least at this level, the way that it needs to be is just a sequence of nodes.
Yep.
One direction.
I'm okay with that.
And that's
absolutely
it.
100%.
You try to identify each node to the ability possible. Beyond that, nesting everything, another responsibility at another stage in the pipeline.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I'm totally okay with that. And let me actually fix this test. So this test here.
Wait, no. We got fresh meat coming in.
Oh, Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe is I think Joe is Shooty McStabby.
Oh, okay.
That's the most American name I've ever heard.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right,
Joe,
cool.
Joe, do you have a web camera?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can put up like a blurred background because my house is a bit of a mess.
You're not kidding. He is fresh meat. This is a young guy.
Me?
That I hear.
No, I'm not that young.
Well, I'm 36 years old, so I don't know where you stand, Joe, but I'm thinking you're on the young side. I didn't carbon date that guy. We're gonna need to carbon date.
38-ish.
38. Okay, we're the same kind of. So Nick is like the grandpa of this whole group. What are you, 55 or something, Nick? Is that what it is?
Let's roll with that. I'll take 55.
I am so jealous of you because I swear to God, you know, I don't know what you said. Naps. That's the secret. Okay. Okay. I'm very jealous of you. I'm telling you right now, man. This is I wish I could look like that now.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Here's Joe.
Hey,
Hi, Joe.
So
wait,
yeah.
Joe, I know you. Are you Joe? Are we on Facebook? Are we connected on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you. Oh, I know you. You're awesome, man. I see the picture of your baby and your family and all that. Yeah. It's good to see you, man. Welcome aboard. So okay. So here's the other problem with Joe. You're familiar with these sessions, aren't you? I'm pretty sure Paul feels terrible that there's just more Americans joining the channel. But I'm sorry, Paul. That's just life. You're gonna have to deal with it.
It's
So
fine. I can keep up with you all. I'll give you a run for your money. I'm a
So-
Brit. We're used to it. We're used to being outnumbered 10-1.
So Joe, this is Nick from New York City,
What's up?
and this is Paul from the land of the Queen.
The
And
land
I'm
of the Queen.
Hassan.
Do I need to do this?
I'm in Seattle, from a different planet, and we have our own country now or something. And and that's Joe. Joe, where you from?
New York.
New York.
Oh,
You're from New
hey.
York too? The same
City,
people.
state.
Same
Yeah, I have
people.
to say upstate because there's a huge disconnect between the city and then
Uh-huh.
everything else. So
So, a little secret: I was
Nice.
born in Syracuse, but my family moved to the city when I was about 3 months old, so I know nothing of it. But I
That's
did go
one
to
way to
school in
say hi.
Albany for 5 years, so I did spend a considerable amount of time up there.
all right.
All right, people, let's go back to this. So the other problem with this test is that it's very, you can't specify a specific number of parameters like this. You need to randomize that stuff, right? So if you're gonna determine that your property is gonna look like that, I can go here and say, well, I need something else in here that tells me, well, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you a random number of properties that will come out here. So random query with multiple parameters, right? With multiple properties rather, like this. Right? And this guy is gonna basically go and say, see, this is the beauty of this library is that it's giving you like, here's a random parameter, here's a random property. Instead of just this one random property, I can go and say, okay, give me a bunch of those. So I need a random number somewhere. So here I can go and do this public, private, static, and to get random number. And this guy is an int range with a minimum of 2 and maximum of 10, exclusive, and then get a value. And I can go here and say, give me a bunch of properties. So I can go here and say, here is an array of properties. And then I can go and say range, right? Or enumerable rather, enumerable, like this. And then range, and you can start from 0 and end at a count of get random number like this. And then I can turn all of this into a bunch of random properties like this. I can go like this and say select item and then new mnemonic string dot get value like this, and then turn that into an array. Boom, done. So now I have these bunch of random properties. I can go down here and say, okay, I'm going to give you a bunch of random properties. And that means, my friends, is that I can go here and say get random query with bunch of properties like this. And this will be the destruction of this would be properties like that. And then I can go here and link all of these. Do you guys remember the little trick to have properties that are comma separated? No? Okay, here.
Join.
Yeah, exactly. Properties array, and I can go here and say, you say what? You say a properties. Yeah, exactly. Join. No, you actually got to start
String
with,
that join.
yeah,
Yeah,
string
string
dot
dot
join.
join.
Yep. And since we're using this as that, I'm gonna do it like this, and I'll tell
Oh,
you
no,
why.
no, 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 no.
Let me explain.
I know. Go ahead. I'm ready to have this conversation.
Let me explain. Okay, so there's two things. There's this guy, and then there's this guy.
Yep.
What's the difference? This guy, they'll tell you, if you look at the documentation, this is an alias
Yes.
of the primitive type, right?
And the reason why you don't use the primitive type out of .NET directly is because someone can go in and actually remap that, which you don't want. right? Because I can't remap the alias in C sharp. I can't remap the alias in C sharp, but I can go up to the top and say using capital S string equals object,
Okay, so hear me out.
and then breaks.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
So primitive types like these versus aliases like these. Primitive types are not supposed to have functionality in them. They're containers of data, and that's it, right? But if you represent it as a class in its alias type, that's an expectation that you're going to extract or use methods and capabilities out of it.
I don't know. I mean, I can respect the argument, but I have not. My experience, I've not seen that in the wild, or it's not a prevalent opinion in my
Okay.
observations. I
All
understand
right.
where you're coming from, but I don't think I've never seen anything that says that the alias is intended to put those semantics on the usage of that type. It's
Okay.
just an alias on the type, and types have methods, and types have properties, and types have all these things. They're never just, even when we work with integers have a whole slew of things. And right. And on top of that, that all gets, that all just goes away. It's only at the declaration site that matters, right? Once you're using
Okay.
the parameter, you don't see the type. It's,
So let me ask you this, Nick. Have you ever done this before, like int 32, like this, and you went and said, oh, this int 32, and then I'm gonna do try parse like this, or actually do
I actually use the int. I use the alias inside of C sharp because my intention.
You use the alias.
Yes,
Wait.
I use the alias.
You use the alias, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take votes on this because we're gonna have to move
Listen,
forward.
I
Paul,
don't care. Like I said, I'm just here to give you content generation, right? That's all
fine.
that's all I am.
Drama sells,
it.
fine, whatever, dude.
By the way, there is
I use the alias.
There is a belief that someone who plays devil's advocate, that there should be a role specifically in me. Do you have note taker, timekeeper, and devil's advocate? Guess which one I am?
I'm thinking the devil's advocate.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Joe. You were going to say something. Go ahead.
I use the alias, and that typically comes down to working with native, like int 32, int 64. Because if you're on 64-bit, it'll actually change the representation behind the scenes. So string is a bit of an interesting one because it's not explicitly a struct like the other ones. It has a lot more going on with it, but I typically try, if there's an alias, I'll stick with it just because you let the people at Microsoft and the compiler guys kind of feed you what you need when you need it. So the type might be different than what you expect.
That's right.
Or
that's right.
Anticipate.
Okay. Paul, what do you want?
I think we're overthinking this, guys.
Okay, fine. Let's move on.
I mean,
so,
you've used lowercase string everywhere else, right? So just be consistent.
Okay.
I think you have a point that primitives really, shouldn't really contain functionality in that sense.
Right. It's weird looking too. Like if you do that, that's weird.
But when you look at it like that, you're sort of thinking, well, logically, it does make sense to join an array of strings, right? I mean,
right.
To my mind, I work on the principle that if my code reads like a sentence of English, I've probably done a good job because it's easy to interpret. How I achieve that is somewhat, irrelevant in most cases, but the key is to have good, strong sort of, layering in your code such that if anyone takes any portion of that code, that it's really easy to understand what it's doing.
Okay. All right. Did we offend Joe? What happened? Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's go back. It's probably having internet problems. All right. So now I have these properties. There he is. Joe, what happened? I didn't know you were very strongly opinionated about aliases and you just got offended and you just rage quit.
I closed a debugging session on my other screen and apparently this was on.
Happens. So. This happened with me while I was on a live session with the Entity Framework team. They had a stand up and there was like 1,000 people watching live. And I'm in the middle of the sentence, my hand is working, and I'm telling them, and the third most important part about OData Neo, click, and I just went offline, and people were like, "What?" That was sad, but anyway, yeah, I'm glad you're back. So okay, here's the deal, guys. Now I have random number of properties, so my test is not actually dictating anything at all. My test is not trying to say, oh, there's these two properties or three properties. It's completely randomized. Also, these properties in and of themselves are also random, so it's not the same property. That's different, right? So now we need to just add those in here. Let's see if you guys can come up with a genius way of doing that. Here's the one that I have off the top of my head. I can just go here and say, well, this is my children array. I'm gonna structure that externally. So I'm just gonna go here and say, give me a list. Well, it's var. So here's my children nodes like this, and I can go here and say, well, give me the properties array, and then select out of this guy. And then this is a property. And then out of that property, construct a new node. Oh. Do you guys know if this thing is a
node.
node? Oh node. Yep. Thank you, sir. Yep. And then inside that guy, I'm going to go and say, well, the type for all of these properties is going to be an O node type. That is an O node type that is a property. And then the value of this guy is going to be the property itself. So property. Don't you guys just love this link statements, the select statements and all that? That's just a beauty. That's a thing of beauty. I'm telling you.
What's interesting is that, this is, in my opinion, link was fundamental in me shifting to more functional style programming approach. Because if you look at it, it's all about, it very much like promotes a functional approach. It's only about mapping. It's not about mutating anything in the process.
If you love functional programming, please check Scala. It's gonna blow your mind. C# is starting to take that route in Scala. Like in Scala, you can go and say class, student, right? And then you can go and say name, string, age, int, and that's it. That's your class. That's all of it. Setters, getters, everything you need. That's it, right?
That's where we got records from.
Yep. So people who use Java still take note. I'm looking at you. All right. So anyway, so this children nodes, and then on top of that, I'm just going to add one more, right, on top of that. Now, the trick here is to be able to go and say, I need to honor the order of this, right? I need to make sure that, the order of these properties is exactly the same order that it came in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here and say, root children equal new list. And I'm going to go here and say, check this out. This is my original node in here. That's going to be new O node. That's the operator for this guy. So I'm going to go here and say, wait for it, type. And that guy is O node type dot what do we call it? An operator. And then a value, and the value here will be the parameter, something like this. So this will be a parameter as well, like this. And then I can append this to that. So I can go here and say root children, append, and I can pass this. So this appending process is how I know that it's not going to add, but can I add a list of things? Let's see, root children.
Add range.
Does it honor the order though?
Add range should honor the order, yeah.
You think so? Okay.
If you use union, if you use union, you can condense this into a single line of code, right?
Yes. So how TDD works in general is that red, green, blue, and the blue part is the refactoring part, right? So this is like, I'm just getting something to fail, and then I'm getting it to pass, and then we're gonna go back and say, let's make it pretty. Make it fail, make it pass, make it pretty. So, okay. So, all right, this is just me kind of brain dumping a solution. Oh, I'll show you some of the tricks that I do. You're gonna love it. But yeah, definitely Union can help with that as well. Since the right side is clear here, you guys, just from a coding standardization standpoint, I don't need to specify the left side. you know, if the right side is clear. I can go here and say, well, in that case, children, I can take this whole thing and I can go and say root children. Now I got myself a real test because now these properties are actually truly randomized and I'm breaking these apart and now I actually can actually fail gracefully. So I can go here and run this and let's have this guy freak out. Okay, there you go. Expected the children to be a collection of 3 items, but found 1. That's a good error right there. Okay. Any volunteers to make this pass since Sam seems to be MIA? Any volunteers? Should I make it pass myself? Okay, I'll make it pass. That's okay.
I thought that was against the rule. I mean, I could try to do it if you want to deal with me for 5 minutes, try to pull it down.
I'm okay with that. Go for
Hold on
it.
a second. All right, give me a second.
We have 25 minutes. I'll give you 5 and then I'll give you 10 to try. And then I'll give you 10 minutes to try, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up at the end of the day and say, all right, you did your part, kid. I'll take care of it now.
All right, let's see. OData Neo, OData Next. No, future OData.
Let me send you the link.
Yeah.
Let me send you the link because this is how you give me a second. Oh, I forgot to respond to this dude that was asking me questions on the blog post. Yikes. Okay, here you go, Nick. It's in the channel.
In Discord? Yeah, give me a second. Oh, I'm in the way too many.
What do you think about this test, Joe? Do you think this is a good test? Do you think we can kind of make it happen?
Yeah, the only thing I see is the parameters that you're randomly generating don't account for string versus not string.
Oh, well, they will always come in a string format because it's a query,
well,
right?
Single quoted. In your last session, you guys wanted single quotes.
Yes.
Around the parameter value.
We'll get to that. That's like actually a great point. I like that. I agree. Can you pull the branch?
Yeah, I pulled the branch. Is it which branch specifically do you want?
It's called user/Hassan Habib /foundation tokenization.
Jesus.
Foundation tokenization. I'm the kind of G the little homies want to be like on my knees all the night saying prayers in the street. Like, you know, I'm doing that just to piss him off. Because last time he was like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'll be like, oh, you just.
My shit is very slow right. Hold on. All right. Somebody know Damien a give branch.
Okay, let me just ask you this very important
Which
question.
one is it?
It's users/Hassan Habib /foundation tokenizations.
Got it. Tokenization. Got it.
The most important question we need to ask: do you know how to use GitHub?
Yes, I do. Yeah, something to ask. All right, hold on. I got it. Open project.
Second question: do you know C#?
You're gonna find out soon. If I do, I mean, I could just be talking shit.
Okay.
Let's see. Neo. Okay. Hey, I got a project going. All right, hold on.
Okay. Okay. Now a very important question: do you know how to share your screen?
Yeah, I can get there. Hold on a second.
Okay.
You know, you think this is all fine.
It's all fun and games
all fun and games, right?
Until Nick starts writing code, and then God help us all.
That's gonna be painful. Why is my shit so? Hold on, get rid of this.
This guy's a PM. What does he know about coding?
I don't know shit, man.
This guy only does PowerPoint slides.
Is super slow right now. You know, it's funny because I like
Clippy.
live in
his idea of pair programming is Clippy. I'm sorry, Nick. I gotta have fun with you.
Right. Okay, here. Let me show my screen.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Brace yourselves.
Hold on. No, God. Here
So
we go.
Paul,
Here we go. Sure. I'm getting there. I'm
okay,
getting there. I'm close. Hold on.
okay,
It's easy.
all right,
Come on.
all right. Patience and prayers. We got it. We're gonna make it happen. Mm.
Are we gathering
There
lists
we
of
go.
reasons again as to why Hassan will not be here next week? Because Nick's killed him off.
Wait, you actually was able to get the branch. I am very proud of you at this moment.
He's a good boy. He's a clever American.
Attaboy.
All right. So let's see.
Okay. Okay, let's
Interesting.
run the tests. So let me
Yeah,
show you how to run tests. You're gonna have to go to
I
the
know how
test
to
list.
test. I gotta build this thing first.
I'm sorry, Joe. I know this is the first time, but Nick and I have this thing that's going on.
Bro, this is pretty much how it is all the time.
All
Like
the
this
time.
doesn't get better. Really.
So people watching us, you want to know how software engineers get stuff done? Just trolling each other 24/7 until something actually comes from the other side. All right, there we are. Let's do it. You probably
I'm
want
still
to take
building.
out, yeah, and you don't need the filter, right? Who cares?
Oh, it's only one test. That's true.
It's 2 tests.
Is that like a dev team rule or something?
Ooh, wait a second. This brother getting some errors. Actually, I think it's not real errors. Yep, don't worry about it. So errors will show in the error list, Nick.
I mean, oh, jeez, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Oh, you don't
I
have
started
.NET 6
2019 instead of 2022.
Yeah,
That's the other problem.
you don't have the 2022 yet?
No, I do. I clicked the wrong thing. So
Like
'cause
I
I'm
said,
old
I'm
and
gonna give
evil.
him 10 minutes.
All those purple icons look the same.
They do look the same. Honestly, I should have
They
just
do.
uninstalled it.
They do look the same. I like the Visual Studio. Dude, that's your Outlook. Oh my God, why do
No,
people have
this is my work, and that I
Okay.
can't show. Sorry.
Citrix.
We already saw it.
I know.
And someone is gonna do a pause on that video because I'm not editing shit, just letting you know.
No, it's fine. Hold on. Here, hold on.
Okay. All right.
Starting, waiting. I wasn't prepared for this. Now I'm gonna be like having it open every time.
Do you want me to do it? It's against
No,
the
I got
rules.
it. Hold
We
on.
have to pair.
No,
Pair
I
and
got
share and care. We're the Care Bears. Let's go. So I don't know what happened to Zach, but since I told him, hey, this is not, a fun run event. We need people to write code with us. Zach was like, I'm out of here. I'm out.
There we go. Okay.
Apparently, so was Sam. He was like, "Oh God, it's turned into real work now." He made me write a whole unit test last week.
I don't know what happened to him. Join us, man. Oh, he just sent me a question mark. I was like, what? Yeah, there he is. Sam, you bailed on me. What the heck? What happened? This is too early for you. You just woke up, man. Sam during the day is this like senior software engineering lead, but at night he goes wild. He goes rogue. He just
No, I don't know. We have the meeting this morning.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
9.
book the meeting?
Yeah, brother.
Hassan?
It's at 9. Yeah, from 9 to 10. You have it. You have the invitation.
Okay.
Look at your calendar.
My calendar is empty.
Your calendar is empty.
I remove all. It's a joke.
Holy flip, flop, and jumping poop balls. What do you?
We have a new guy. Hi, John.
This is Joe.
Hi.
I like Joe. I like Joe a lot. He's good. He's a good guy. You just have a thing about people. You just see people and you just tell immediately. This is a good person right there. Okay.
All right, my thing
That means-
built. Okay, so which one am I doing? Tokenize raw query or tokenize multiple? Oh, we'll start with raw query.
I don't know. Run the test and see which one goes red. That's the one you need to work on.
That's not even showing up. What the hell?
Please don't let PMs come into this channel. We don't want this.
There we go.
This is.
What's this code stuff? I'm not used to this. I just want to come here and talk all day.
Okay, Sam, I modified your test a little bit. You know, I also saw your open PR. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about coding without people. Kind of rubs me off a little bit, you know, but we'll talk about that. But anyway, let's run the runnies. Here we go. Oh, you need to do a rebuild. Do a rebuild of your project. Yes.
Who is sharing the screen?
Oh, it's Nick. Nick writes code now.
Nick. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Nick actually writes code.
3 up to date, none skipped. So it's been built.
Okay. Just do .NET test then. You know, I normally resolve to the bare metal. Let's go to town. Make it rain. Ain't nothing but a thing, one sky man. Let's put that stuff on the white fire grid people call the internet. just nonsense. Let's go. So Sam, we just changed the test a little bit to randomize the properties that are being passed in.
Just a little bit. It's
just
okay.
a tiny bit. Just a little bit.
Okay. So it seems I can catch up quickly.
Yeah, you'll be able to catch up super fast. There you go.
Error message. So children to be a collection of 5 volumes, but
see, last time it was 3, now it's 5. It's really random. You know, it's a moving target.
Oh, awesome. All right. Let's see. Input new children node.
Look at that high quality American language there in that list of nodes.
Root children's nodes operator node.
Paul, you are a sad person. I wanted to tell you that. Okay. You know, I think at some point in time, Nick will be able to get something going. I think. We'll see.
I had to shut down like 5 other apps for this, by the way.
Should I just go take a shower and come back? What's
yeah?
Get so most programmers write code on a computer, not a potato. Maybe you should consider getting one.
Okay. See items, string 2, item property, parameter. There you go. Property. That's the problem. It's just a list of items. So your parameter here. Your property. This is a value, right?
Yeah.
So you have the root raw query, right?
Yeah.
And children list parameter.
Yep.
And node property.
Yep.
Children node list node. Okay, so we get that should be equivalent to expected node root
and then it fails.
For children. Yeah. Okay. Except probably children times with new contain 9. What am I missing here? Like, what's the? Am I an idiot? I am an idiot. I know this parameter operand.
You're a PM, which is worse.
Children node. The problem, I bet, is the expected children.
I like to mess with Nick. I love Nick. He's good. Yeah. Yep.
You have a funny way of showing it. Is that what they say?
Yep. So let me help. Can I help?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh no, you're putting this is why, because you have children here. Children nodes, you have the property, and then you put the children nodes in, the expected node, the root children, but the root children, you're stacking them on top of each other, no?
Yes. Yeah,
That's why it
flatten
needs
it.
to be nested.
No, it doesn't. We were just talking about that. We said we're gonna flatten it.
Okay, so yeah.
Everyone talks big game until they sit in front of the IDE, and then
Oh,
they
shut
show
up.
you who they really are.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, forget about the code. I just love the part where you get to sit in a pairing session and have fun. You know, just sit down. So can I help? Can I help, Nick?
Should it be two nodes here?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
You just need to take that parameter and turn
This
every
thing.
one. Mm-hmm. This is like one of those, you know, interviews. Are you actually gonna write every single? Okay. It's gonna fail
Technical
though.
interview.
Yeah, this is like an interview, and the brother is super nervous.
Give a
Mind you, I'm trying to do
question,
2 jobs
give
at
me the
once,
answer.
right?
Except at the company when I interview people, you know, I try to make them calm. I'm actually trying to make Nick more nervous. Just trying to guys induce his anxiety so I could just make fun of him. It's not gonna work, right? Because it's expecting you to flatten out these nodes. So let me help, Nick.
Go ahead.
Nicolas,
Oh, wait,
let me help.
we're just doing one whole list, or
Yeah.
oh,
So
so
hear
then
me
you
out.
go ahead.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Do you see these items?
Yeah.
Items 1, right? Just do dot in there. Just dot. No.
Line 17.
Line 17.
Oh,
Dot, and then just
Split.
do this. Do select.
Split or select?
We'll split first. That's right.
Yeah.
We need to split. Split. No, it comes out of the box.
oh yeah.
Yep, and then do the comma. Perfect, and then do select. No, bro, just wait. Just listen to me. I'll give you the. I'm trying to help you. Just listen. Dot select, and then get the link expression. Get the link. Control period.
Can you tell me about this? Which expression you want?
Just do control period after you do dot select.
So select,
Period is full stop or a dot, Paul. Just trying to make sure you know what we're
Are we
saying.
mapping this to
Hey,
something? Or
hey,
no?
hey, less of that. Less of that. My English is better than yours. Well, I've got it passing. I don't know about you lot.
Okay.
What are we mapping this to?
I don't know about you lot. And that's okay, fine. Okay, so do control period just to get the reference. Yeah, you're going in the right direction. Yep, keep going. There we go. He got it. He jumps, he dunks, he scores. Property.
Constant property.
Property. Yeah. And then comma. Okay. And then the value is value. And then just do control period to get the link reference.
There's no what do you call it? There's no
What are you talking about? Control period.
Oh, stop it. I like clicking things.
You actually click. This guy is an actual PM. I'm telling you right now, he uses the mouse to pull references. Okay, now wait. Not so fast. Hold on. We're not done yet. Now change the type and the name of var property into list onode. No, bro. Line 18. So make this list of onode and then name it property children. Okay. No, you don't need that. Yep. Just stay as is, and then okay, fine. And then let's go and create the root children. So just go and say, take that O node operator and then add on top of it, just like I did in the
And sorry, say again.
The root children. So just take that O node create a new list, just type equal new list. Go ahead. Of O node, and then add that new root operator that from line.
Oh, this thing.
Line, not this guy. Nope, not yet. Nope, not this guy. From line 36 to line 41. Copy that. Yeah, take that guy. And throw that guy inside that list, that new list that you did. Did you actually do root children.add? Mm. Anyway, and then let's combine these two lists together, just like I did in the test. No. Go back. Control Z. Under that root children, just combine the property children with the root children. Do a union or an add range, like Paul was saying. Root children dot add range. Nice. And then just add in the property. Perfect. Now, wait. Dude, Control Z. Line 40. Line 40, just add these root children in there. And then just clear out everything and remove that extra line between value and children. Remove that line. Now run the test. Why are you putting... okay, well, we'll fix that.
It's Java style?
Yeah, we're gonna change that. Don't worry. He's just being weird. He's from New York. Who knows what this guy's up to?
Hey.
I'm sorry, Joe. I forgot Joe's from New York too.
You can say city if you want to like get really. So that failed too.
Look, you broke all of them. Yay!
I broke all of it. Awesome. Children contains 1 times more than children.
So let me explain why. So your items, which is number 2, you picked up the items, you split based on the equal, and then you created a property with the value s. That's right. And then you created the parameter. That's right. And then you have the root. Can you go to the test real quick? Go to the test real quick.
I'm not putting the parameter in anywhere. The parameters are just getting...
No, you are. Go back to the test real quick. Test.
Hold on. Why Nicholas can't use the Visual Studio to run the test case?
He's just... because he...
Did you install the
Visual Studio? No, he does. He does, Sam. He does.
Oh, okay.
Just take the raw query from the implementation, Nick. Go back to the implementation.
Okay.
No, go back to the implementation. And just take the raw query from there. No. Take the raw query from the value.
What do you mean take the raw query from the value?
So line 37, take it out. Run. He's using the command line because he's
for some reason when I run it in test runner, it just doesn't run it. So we just said screw it, we'll do it on the command line.
Typical PM can't use a perfectly good IDE.
I don't see you contributing here, Paul. So zip it.
Hey, I've already cracked it. Both of my tests are passing, mate, and I posted the results in Discord 10 minutes ago.
Okay, let's
maybe
see.
If I had just a clear pathway and not like all this extraneous input, it would have been done. Paul, meanwhile, Paul used me. He's offered me up as cannon fodder.
Yeah. It's easy when the pressure's not on, isn't it?
So hold on. Let's see why this is failing. It's basically saying your children is null, that's right. And then expected property actual node dot children to be a collection with 1 item, but found 2. Can you go back to the implementation real quick?
Yeah.
I did find that because of the decision change that we made to flatten out hierarchy, the other test is now actually wrong.
That's okay. I'm okay with the other test failing. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I just want to see why in here he missed one tiny thing. That's what I'm looking for. Operator parameter. Oh, instead of operator, type parameter. Smart pants. Do. And then run again. Through the command line. Like a gangster. Do it.
If I was, I really should have some command prompt in the IDE, right?
There is a command prompt in the IDE.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know that.
Okay, there's one more thing we're missing. Let's see. So this guy is saying it contains 1 item more than. Okay, so the expected has children node with property this and that, and children is null, and then the type is operator. Operator? Why the type is operator? Go back to the test real quick. scroll. Oh, this guy. Do you see this guy? It says operator. It should say
Yeah.
parameter. That's one, but then scroll down another one for the next test.
Should this be nested here?
It shouldn't. This is what Paul was talking about, but we'll
Yeah.
come back to that. Let's just get the one that was failing passing first, like at the very bottom.
Well, this was it. Oh, no, you're talking about this. You're talking about this one,
You have two failing tests.
right?
I want to get the one that we wrote right now to pass first. So let's go to the very bottom, to the other test.
All right.
Okay. So we said this is a parameter and this is a property.
Mm-hmm.
And we
so property, children nodes, property select, children nodes,
Yeah.
add range, root
And
children.
we combine those and you add the range and you basically went and said, oh node root input query for the value. Take that out and then let's run. This will pass. This will definitely pass. Let's go. So you're going to have one pass and one fail, I think. There you go. So now make one commit that says this test thin arrow pass.
What you want to say?
Yeah, so -m and then put the test name that you just made pass. Yep, that guy. Yep, put that test name there and then thin arrow. No, no, dude, don't do that. Why are you doing that?
There?
Thin arrow, thin one, like a
Oh, it's a thin arrow.
Hyphen.
and then pass all uppercase. Pass. Pass, not past, pass. Fuck. Okay, and then double quote and then enter. And then let's make the other test pass as well. Because you broke it.
I don't have permissions to push. Sam.
Okay.
That's the same thing.
Sam, add Nick as a collaborator. Add Nick as a collaborator.
This is
So
this needs to be timestamped as like this is the end.
Let's fix the other test as well. Go up by
All
one.
right.
So just you just need to flatten this one. Just flatten
Let's see, children node parameter list.
Give me your name. GitHub name.
Casper1. Casper1.
Casper one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's so cool. He's the Casper, the ghost.
Children node.
No. This one is easy, dude. You don't have to do that. Go back. Take that node from line 39 to line 44. And then just add it in there at the same level.
Yeah, I see.
Wow. No.
Stop. The push would have only been if that commit for the. It would have still been clean.
Here we go.
Nope.
So what's it saying? It's
Let's
saying
see.
expected property node actual value. Oh, do we still have value on the root? Yeah, your root has a value. No, not this one. The root. Yep, and then just do again. This will make all the tests pass. Welcome to my world, Nick. That's real software engineering for you right there.
Yeah.
That's the real deal.
Thank you for blessing me with this, Hassan. Thank you.
There you go. Good job, man.
All right, so let's do this.
I mean, we worked through it. We lost our temper a little bit. You know, maybe we said things that we regretted, but at the end of the day, we have a product. So put that. Yep. Oh, look at you. I have a tear in my eye. You just did it.
Still got it 403.
So Sam, this guy has the secret code and he's not able to share it. So fix that.
Accept the invite, Nico.
Accept the invite, Nico.
Hold on, let me see.
That's gonna be your name now because Sam called you Nico. That's gonna be you.
View invitation. Accept invitation.
Thank you,
Done.
Nico. I appreciate your.
There we go.
Yay! Very well done. All right. So that's a wrap for our session today. Any last comments, concerns, compliments, anything? Thank you,
I need
Nick.
to pay more attention if I'm going to code live in front of you guys.
Are you really a PM, Nico?
I do PM work. Yes,
Yeah,
So-
that's why I was making fun of him.
I do daily development, project management. It's maybe if I'm fortunate, I'll code 10 to 20% of the time if I'm fortunate.
Actually, I like technical PMs because they have the business and the coding together. So that's I guess where you stand somehow, you know. But anyway, you know, let's continue this, you guys. We're gonna continue to add more problems. Nick, you will be the one responsible for writing a failing test next time because you just made
Awesome.
the test pass.
Okay,
So you're gonna write a failing test, and
I can do that.
and then Paul is gonna make it pass.
All right.
Welcome, Paul.
No.
If
You
you
should,
think
you
if
should
you
I take it
clap and
back.
like
I
the
should have
Paul
done this
ahead of
one.
time.
Paul,
So
are
you'll-
you a PM?
No, thank God.
So here's the funny part about all of this. Paul, did you think when you stay quiet and you sit there in the corner, it's not gonna be your turn? I'm gonna find you. Nice
I
try.
can see it coming. Yeah.
But anyway, so Nick is gonna write a failing test. Paul is gonna make it pass. Paul's gonna write a failing test. Sam is gonna make it pass. And then Sam is gonna write a failing test. I'm gonna make it pass, and I'm gonna get you in, Joe. Joe, you wanna write code with us? Is this fun? You know, everyone gets to make fun of you while you're writing code. It's very encouraging.
Sounds
It's
like
good.
a normal day.
The train wreck that is being in a development team.
So one more thing, you know, just so you guys understand, and the people watching us on YouTube, you know, the this is this development process. There will be a lot of talking, a lot of thinking at the beginning, but once we find this momentum, you know, we're gonna start doing more coding and less designing because we already figured out what we want to do with it. And I really appreciate all of you. This is some great work right there. And for the people watching us, as usual, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in another session. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Thank you all. Bye.